Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Harrison Hills and welcome to this beautiful Wisconsin afternoon here. I'm up on the Gen 3 KLR 650 exploring some trails by myself today. Honestly, I would have to say that doing a solo ride is never a good idea. It's always better to have a buddy with you. You never know what's going to happen. However, I definitely would not want to miss out on a beautiful day like today. So sometimes I take the risk and I ride by myself, and I think there's definitely some stuff that you can do to make rides like this a lot safer for yourself and increase your chances of coming home safe with the bike intact. The first thing is pretty self-explanatory, I would think, but I think I've got some details that hopefully will help some of you guys out. Having a plan and telling somebody about that plan. Obviously, if you're just leaving and not telling anybody and you never come back, people aren't going to know where to look for you. So just a simple, hey, I'm headed here today. Should be back around this time. I've got my cell phone set up and my Google Maps set up, so my location, my GPS location, is shared with both my wife and my mom, so they can always see where I'm at, which is super helpful because then I don't have to tell my wife when I'm coming home. She can kind of just look where I'm at and see about how fast I'm going, and she'll know when I'm coming home, so I don't have to pull over and pull out my phone, which I really like. But the thing is with that, the person that your location is shared with might not be able to see your updated location, because while your phone can navigate while it's offline, meaning not getting cell tower reception, it's not pinging those towers that can't update your location. So that means a couple things. One, somebody might think you're stuck somewhere when you're really not. It should tell them that you're offline. But if something were to happen and they did have to come find you, it's only going to give them your last known location, which is better than nothing. Obviously it could be misleading, but I think it's still helpful. And of course, you definitely should not be relying on your cell phone to get you out of trouble. If you're in remote locations, a lot of times you're not going to have reception. One thing that might make you feel a little bit better, even though it probably shouldn't, it's something that you should at least know about, is that if there are cell towers near you that your phone can ping off of that are not actually your cell towers, you can call an emergency line. But if you're not anywhere near any tower, obviously that's not going to be helpful. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you are connecting your phone to your Bluetooth and playing music, especially in a remote area, your phone's going to be using a lot more battery. So make sure that your phone is completely charged, even though you don't want to rely on it to get you out of a bad situation. It never hurts to make sure it's charged and to have something along on the ride to help charge it. Whether that's a USB port on the bike and the right charge cable to actually charge the phone, or in my case, I always have this charge bank in my pocket, which is actually currently hooked up to the GoPro that is powering it, so I don't have to have a battery. I don't have to worry about a battery dying. These things last forever. I could probably record all day on the camera and still charge my phone probably 5 or 6 times before this would die. These things are amazing. I think this is 20 bucks. I can try to put a link for it down in the description if they still have the same thing. It is an awesome little thing to have around. Woo! The GPS that I've got up here is actually an automotive GPS. You can pick these up super cheap. I bought this for, I believe, $25 off of eBay used. I've got videos that I guess I can link down in the description if you want to see how I've mounted these GPSs. I have a few videos on that, but I definitely like it, and it kind of I guess circles back to the beginning where, you know, knowing where you're going, having the trail system, which is provided to me by VV Maps, which is super nice if you're in Wisconsin, Michigan, or Minnesota, and maybe even another state now. I don't want to say it because I don't know for sure, but check out vvmaps.com, I believe it is. They've got a ridiculous amount of information that they can provide. You just stick a micro SD card into the back of the GPS, and it'll have the snowmobile trails, the ATV trails, the county land, the state land, managed forest land. Just a good thing to have and a good thing to help you explore beautiful places like this. The other thing, of course, you want to do is be prepared for some sort of an issue. Trying some stuff at home with your standard toolkit, seeing if you can adjust the chain, seeing if you can make some adjustments to some of your controls up front, clutch lever, throttle cables, that sort of thing, and seeing if you can do that with the kits you have, or the tools you have in your kit, and seeing if you know how to do it in general. I mean, having that know-how is definitely important. I would definitely encourage you guys to try to wrench on little stuff like that at home. I know motorcycles can be scary to work on if you're somebody that has zero mechanical background, but it's also something that is good to have in your back pocket when you're out on the trail. It's good to know that if something goes wrong with the bike that's small, you can hopefully remedy it on the trail. I will be completely honest, I know how to change a tube in a tire, but I do not bring supplies with me to change it, mostly because I'm only an hour away. I would rather just have somebody come pick me up with my trailer. I know that's not right, and maybe I don't deserve to be making this video if I'm not prepared, but I have had a trailer or bike home with a flat before, so I know what I'd be getting myself into. But it would be good to carry that stuff along, and someday I do promise that I will start to do that, especially if I start to take longer trips from home. What do you guys think of the camera here? That was sort of a slip up today, or a slip down, I guess. My clamp wouldn't hang on anymore today, and it ended up riding around on the ground, so I ended up sticking it there. How's it look? How do I look? Terrible, I'm sure. I don't remember the last time I showered. Now this might also seem pretty simple. Bring food and bring water. I do have my water along. I always bring my big, I think it's a 2-liter bottle of, whoa, that didn't sound good. Hope I didn't just pop a tube now. I do always bring a big jug of water along, and that's definitely a must. You need to keep hydrated out here. You will definitely ride better, feel better, think better. Everything will be better if you are hydrated. And especially if something does go wrong, you're going to be able to get through it a lot better if you are hydrated and if you have a drink of water to sip on and calm down a little bit. And that is the next thing that you want to make sure you do, is have a good positive attitude no matter what happens. Nobody ever got anything accomplished well by having a horrible attitude. Maybe you can get through it by gritting your teeth and being angry the whole time and being upset that something went wrong, but it sure isn't going to make the experience any better, and it's not going to get you home any faster or any safer. Just get through it, get it done, and try to enjoy the little things and use it as a learning experience for next time. Positive attitude can definitely go a long way. Now, I actually talked about this and kind of displayed it a little bit in the 3 things I wish I would have known when I started ADV riding video. But I think what is extremely important, especially with a heavy bike like this, is to know how to pick the bike up. Anybody can race up to a bike, their adrenaline pumping, and lift it up. But if you're not maybe prepared to lift 460 pounds and you just wrench it up, you might hurt yourself. And if you have to do that multiple times because you get yourself into a bad situation, you're going to burn yourself out pretty quick, and if nothing else, it's just going to make for a crappy ride the rest of the way home. So doing the bike lift the right way, I guess whatever the right way is for you, I definitely prefer the back to the seat and lifting up on the handlebars and the back of the bike, and then slowly kind of walking it up and leaning it up against the back of your legs and then your butt, which is something I would recommend that you practice in the driveway. I guess maybe not in the driveway, in the grass, so you don't scratch your crash bars up, which hopefully you have. This next one I am also realizing that I'm not doing so well at today. Riding within your limit. Obviously it's always good to get out and push yourself. I always say if you're not dropping your bike once in a while, then you are not learning anything new, or at least not learning it very fast anyways. It's definitely good to push your bike, push yourself, but it's better to do that when you have somebody else that will help haul you out of the woods if something goes wrong. When you're by yourself, that just kind of amplifies things and makes it a potentially bad situation even worse. Make sure you wear your personal protective equipment, which means having a coat that's mesh and will breathe well on the hot days like this, and making sure you got a set of good gloves, some riding boots that'll protect your ankles and your feet, and some pants that will protect you when you go down. I've got a set of Kevlar ones on today that are a bit warm, but I'd rather have the skin stay attached to my legs than be a little bit cooler. Even a MX jersey on a trail like this would be a heck of a lot better than a big mesh coat like I've got today. And I've got an orange one at home, but that would have matched the bike but not the helmet, and can't have my shirt and my helmet not matched, so I'm waiting on a different set of the new MSR gear to come in that will match the yellow helmet. So that's definitely something I would recommend. You can pick up, I think, closeout MSR gear for like 15 bucks for a jersey or 12 bucks for a jersey. They're really ridiculously reasonable, and they breathe super well. They definitely aren't going to protect you necessarily out on the road, but I think as far as abrasion resistance goes out on the trail, I mean, they're good enough for motocross riders. I think they'll probably be good enough for me anyways. I think that's all I've got for you guys. If you have your own tips, make sure and leave them down below. Maybe it'll be something I never even thought of. And guys, make sure you check that section out. If you like any of the gear that I've got going on here and you want to help the channel out, make sure you use the Rocky Mountain ATV links down in the description. If you want to see more videos like this, I try to put one out every weekend. Been shooting for 2 a week. Been doing okay, I think, so far. We just had a new little one 4 weeks ago now who is doing great. Mom's doing great. Big brother, little guy, is doing awesome and having a great time having a little sister. So we're having a blast. Family life is good. Definitely cuts down on the motorcycle time, but it is well worth it. And I really like being a dad. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait to get my little guy and my daughter up here to ride the trails. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky. Get out, enjoy yourself whenever you can. And if you can't do that right now, here's some more videos to check out in the meantime. Oop. What time is it? We got some time yet.